Now, with the Hezbollah chief being eliminated by Israel, tensions at the Blue Line have peaked and the Lebanese people are living in fear of yet another all-out war. But instability is not new to the West Asian nation. Here's more.
Israel and Hezbollah have been engaged in near-daily crossfire for nearly a year now. The conflict has left over 1 million Lebanese displaced. Step back though, and you find that the past year has been just another dark chapter in Lebanon's tumultuous history. The country has seen a former prime minister being assassinated, withstood a 34-day-long war that created ripples that lasted for years, grappled with one of the world's worst economic meltdowns, and endured one of the largest chemical explosions in recent history, all in a span of 20 years. As the world celebrated Valentine's Day, Lebanon's former Premier Rafik Hariri was killed by a suicide truck bomb in Beirut. Hariri had been part of the anti-Syrian opposition in Lebanon. His assassination fomented political tensions between Lebanon and Syria and ultimately forced Syria to withdraw its forces. The Syrian occupation of Lebanon ended in 2005, but a war between Israel and Hezbollah followed the next year. What came to be known as the 34-day-long war started on the 12th of July 2006 as Hezbollah launched a barrage of rockets into northern Israel. Hostilities continued until a United Nations brokered ceasefire went into effect on the 14th of August 2006. Hostilities continued until a United Nations brokered ceasefire went into effect on the 14th of August. Over 1,000 Lebanese people were killed in those 34 days, and more than 1 million were displaced. Residents continued to live with severely damaged civil infrastructure. In the October of 2019, widespread protests erupted throughout Lebanon. They were triggered by endemic corruption and complete stagnation of the economy. Protesters from all religious sects called for the establishment of a new political regime. This rare unity among the citizens led to the resignation of the cabinet of ministers and put into motion the reshuffling of the government. However, the COVID-19 pandemic put an effective end to any hopes of change. Tensions between the government and the Lebanese citizens hit an all-time high soon after. A massive explosion at the Beirut port was a massive jolt. The explosion killed more than 200 people and injured about 6,500, many of them critically. It was caused by a consignment of ammonium nitrate stored in the port for years, but its origin and destination remain a mystery to this day. This incident reignited widespread protests and saw the entire cabinet resign, with the government staying on only in a caretaker capacity. These factors, made worse by widespread corruption and the COVID-19 pandemic, left the country in one of the world's worst financial crises ever seen. As of this day, Lebanon is yet to recover. In the last 11 days of September, Israel turned up the heat on Hezbollah like never before. Pagers and walkie-talkies exploding. Over 300 strikes in a single day that killed close to 600 people. And a large section of the Hezbollah leadership being wiped out in a matter of a few days. The onslaught on the Hezbollah group has been unprecedented. On the evening of the 26th, Israeli forces pounded a building in the southern suburbs of Beirut, killing dozens. A day later, it became known that the Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, a man who had led Hezbollah for 32 years, had been killed. Beirut fears a continued Israeli offensive, as the world questions what's next for Lebanon.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.